Welcome, bizarre creatures fans. As we embark on an extreme descent, plunging thousands of feet below the surface into the crushing, perpetually dark and utterly silent environment of the deep ocean, the final unexplored frontier on our planet, we are entering the oxygen minimum zone, a suffocating realm starting around 2,000 feet deep, where sunlight is completely absent and the water conditions are hostile to almost all complex life forms. In this desolate kingdom resides the subject of today's shocking truth, the Vampyroteuthis infernalis, ominously nicknamed the Vampire Squid from Hell, a title that implies a truly terrifying, blood-sucking monster. Yet the reality is far more astounding than the fiction. This creature, rather than being a ferocious predator, is one of the deepest living and most passive species of cephalopod known to science. Living a life of quiet recycling, it is the sole surviving member of its own ancient order, a biological relic that has navigated the dramatic evolutionary changes of the planet for approximately 300 million years, making it older than the dinosaurs. The secret to its survival in the hostile deep is primarily its specialized physiological adaptations, chief among them being its unique respiratory system built for surviving in water with dangerously low oxygen saturation. Its blood contains a blue, copper-based protein called hemocyanin, which is highly efficient at binding to and transporting the minuscule amounts of oxygen available in the frigid, high-pressure depths. The squid's body is also mainly composed of ammonia-rich gelatinous tissue, a strategy that naturally lowers its metabolic rate and helps it maintain perfect buoyancy with almost zero effort, essential for energy conservation. This low-energy existence is reflected in its enormous, bulbous eyes, which are proportionally the largest in the entire animal kingdom, allowing it to gather any stray photons of light filtering down from the layers above. The namesake vampire feature is the dark, black or reddish-black cloak-like webbing that stretches between its 8 arms, making it look incredibly ominous when spread out in the darkness. When a perceived threat appears, the squid performs its primary defensive maneuver. It quickly inverts this webbing over its entire body, creating a striking posture known as the defensive pineapple or inside out display. This dramatic transformation conceals its delicate internal organs and transforms the graceful swimmer into an intimidating, spiky, and seemingly impenetrable mass floating in the perpetual darkness. The spikes visible in this posture are actually rows of sensory filaments called cirri, which line the inside of the arms and are likely used to detect changes in the water currents and movement. Now we reveal the most incredible part of its identity. Despite being categorized alongside fierce cephalopods like Humboldt squid, the vampire squid does not hunt, bite, or pursue any living creature for food. It is, in fact, a detritivore, a creature that feeds exclusively on detritus, meaning it is the gentle, indispensable scavenger of the deep-sea ecosystem, sustaining itself on nature's leftovers. To feed, the squid employs a unique strategy, deploying 2 extraordinarily long, sticky, and highly sensitive retractable filaments, which can extend to many times its own body length. These delicate structures float passively in the current, effectively acting as high-tech, living fishing lines coated in mucus to ensnare tiny, sinking particles of organic matter. What it collects is known as marine snow, the constant downward stream of biological waste, including dead plankton, tiny crustacean shells, and the fecal pellets of animals from the sunlit zones above. When the filaments have accumulated a sufficient amount of this nutritional rain, the squid slowly reels them back in, carefully wiping the sticky marine snow into its large beak-like mouth. This leisurely, passive feeding technique perfectly aligns with its low metabolic rate, requiring minimal energy expenditure, which is crucial for survival in its oxygen-starved habitat. Unlike squids that use jets of black ink to confuse predators, the vampire squid has developed a completely different, bioluminescent method of creating a diversion. When severely threatened, it can eject a cloud of glowing, sticky blue mucus from the tips of its arms, which illuminates and distracts the attacker while the squid vanishes into the deep. Its entire body is equipped with sophisticated light-producing organs called photophores, which it can instantly activate to create complex, flickering patterns of blue light. This ability to turn off its natural shadow and produce sudden bursts of light is a form of counter-illumination, helping it blend into the faint background light of the midwater column. Reproduction in the abyss is also a protracted affair, mirroring its slow pace of life. Females are believed to brood their translucent eggs for an astonishingly long period, possibly up to 9 months. This extended brooding period is an evolutionary trade-off, ensuring that the tiny hatchlings, which emerge perfectly formed, are well developed enough to survive immediately in the harsh deep-sea environment. The development is direct, meaning the young are miniature replicas of the adults, though they lack the full webbing and the distinctive photophores that develop as they mature. Scientists still have much to learn about the lifespan of this cryptic creature, but based on its extremely slow growth rate and low metabolism, it is hypothesized that it may live for decades. The extreme conditions of its habitat have forced the vampire squid to shed the aggressive traits of its cephalopod relatives and evolve into a model of energy, efficiency, and elegant submission. Its existence, fundamentally, challenges our preconceived notions of what a deep-sea monster should be, proving that the most ancient survivors are often the most resourceful and least confrontational. The Vampyroteuthis infernalis is a master of camouflage and deception, using its dark pigments and light organs not for attack, but purely for avoiding detection and conserving its precious energy stores. The remarkable flexibility of its arms and the complex network of muscles within the webbing allow it to manipulate its body posture with exceptional control, from a streamlined torpedo to a menacing ball. Researchers use remotely operated vehicles, or ROVs, to study this elusive species, capturing stunning, rare footage that confirms its unusual, almost meditative method of movement through the water column. The scientific community is currently working to understand the exact chemical composition of its bioluminescent mucus, hoping to glean secrets about its function as a decoy and escape mechanism. Despite its classification as a cephalopod, it sits halfway between true squids and octopuses, possessing characteristics of both groups, solidifying its place as a unique and singular branch on the tree of life. The vast, unexplored regions of the deep Pacific and Atlantic are thought to hold dense populations of these squids, playing a critical but unseen role in regulating the carbon cycle of the ocean. By consuming and compacting marine snow, the vampire squid helps sequester organic carbon from the surface layers, effectively contributing to the planet's overall climatic regulation. It reminds us that appearances can be profoundly misleading. The creature named after a creature of nightmares is, in fact, one of the most passive and important recyclers in the world's largest habitat. So, let the name Vampire Squid from Hell serve only as a reminder of the amazing evolutionary pressures of the deep, a name that completely obscures the creature's true, fascinating reality. The true shocking truth is that this dark-cloaked creature, far from seeking blood, is a quiet, ancient treasure, deserving of our admiration and protection for its role as the benevolent guardian of the abyss.